Well,
Yeah.
it's week 4 of the LCS, and he is back. Contractz trying to
Nice.
chat as I was beginning the interview.
Sick.
He's that excited to do another interview after returning to the LCS. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware. Contractz. We were just talking a little bit while I was setting up. What has this weekend been like for you getting back into the LCS and playing? Unfortunately, with the loss yesterday, but with the win today.
Yeah, it feels good for sure being back in LCS and be able to take a win, even though it wasn't the cleanest. Um, I thought we showed a lot of strengths in being aggressive. For my play specifically, definitely early blunders. I have to try to wipe those off, which is quite surprising for me because just in solo queue and scrims, usually I don't really make mistakes early. It's usually the kind of mid game, kind of moving around the map that I usually struggle with the most. So being able to kind of say, okay, I made these mistakes, and just being able to take the next steps to kind of just delete those. Because I
Yeah.
think I have really good baseline in like knowing what I need to play for early. I'm missing like those 1 to 2 steps where I need to be like, okay, um, my mid doesn't have push. I should go through mid first, be able to kind of secure that priority, and then move with Ryoma towards wherever we're going, right?
Yeah.
But I think overall, I'm definitely improving a lot as a player. This past off season and just the start of the split in general. So I'm really excited for you know the coming weeks with the new squad.
What is it like working with Ryoma? Because I think he's taken a lot of heat recently. I mean, since he entered the league, actually. And I know Kobe put a stat out yesterday. I think that was something about how I think he, Stunt, and Meteos were like the 3 highest deaths in the league, something along those lines. And so, you're coming in. This is a part where, like, obviously you and him are going to have to work really closely together in
Yep.
game. So how have you been managing that relationship? How are you guys building it out to make sure that this is like a better situation than he had previously?
Just open communication, staying positive is definitely like the biggest thing with this new team, I think. Like we're all it's just really easy to work together. We're all very open-minded. It's easy to communicate with each other, right? Um, I think the only challenging thing is like getting to know when he wants to play aggressive in his lane, just being able to communicate between each other to see like what kind of timings are like best for him. And
Yeah.
once we kind of like sync those timings together, like my timings and his timings, um, I think we'll definitely be very aggressive and very looking or very open to like looking to skirmish and fight, very very aggressively and a lot of the time.
Is he more quiet in game? Because I wonder. You say like communication is really important, and also trying to figure out whenever he's wanting to play aggressive. So is it a situation where you feel like you guys just need to open up the dialogue a little bit more? Is that what's causing maybe a lack of synergy?
Um, Honestly, I think one of my biggest strengths that I've improved on as a player is just opening that dialogue, like communicating with all my laners to make sure what's going on, and just kind of telling my laners my plan as well. But yeah, I do miss some steps when it comes to going through mid. So I think the biggest thing is just being able to ask him like what's going on most of the time. Um, I think he's pretty vocal as well with like his lane. Just like for example, in the game today when I was playing Olaf and I died on Gromp, um, the communication was very loud. Like I was just saying like I want to fight here, I want to fight here, and then I was kind of just talking over him. So I think just taking like a step back, kind of looking at lanes, and then realizing what I can do with those lanes is kind of something that I have to figure out and kind of just work on. But um, yeah, I mean, Ryoma is really, really easy to work with, and when he's very loud when he knows he can fight, basically. So
Yeah.
he gives me a lot of, I think we give each other confidence, just because I'm also very aggressive and I'm also very like fight, 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 and he's definitely like that too. So I think we have a lot to improve on, but I think we're taking good steps to kind of get better.
Yeah. Do you? Do, I guess I'm very curious because you had this time where you weren't in the LCS
Hmm.
and it kind of felt like you dropped down a bit. A lot of people were speculating about whether or not you'd make it back into the LCS or what was going on. So,
Hmm.
what was your side of that experience?
Yeah, my first academy split for sure was the worst I've ever played in the history of my career. Like, no doubt. Um, I won't lie, like I really got complacent and I really had, I thought I was too good for academy, right? Like I've been in LCS my whole career pretty much for like the past 3 years. I thought academy would just be a breeze. Like that was my mindset going into it. And that mindset is really, really bad. You start working not as hard, you don't put in the hours, you just don't respect your opponents, right? And that was the biggest thing that I had to overcome coming into the split. Um, I had to start playing more solo queue. I had to start being more involved in team review, in drafts. Just in game, I had to become that vocal communicator that my teammates need to rely on, right? Like, I need to be able to communicate what I'm doing, what I'm going to do, what I think is best in game, right? And that was the biggest thing that I worked on this offseason. And it definitely has shown, honestly. Like, in academy, I'm definitely doing a lot better, 100%. Like, putting in all the work, I'm respecting people. I'm, just overall, I'm just working towards a goal, right? My goal coming into the academy split was to get back into LCS. So I'm definitely happy with the progress I've made coming into summer split for academy and LCS. Um, definitely, it's not. I'm not done yet. Like I
Yeah.
have a lot to work on still. I have a lot to improve on, and I'm just really excited to keep on grinding out and really trying to get back to where I was.
Was there a moment in time where you realized, like, you reflected and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm not doing what I need to do to succeed."
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely during this off season. Um, I kind of just I told myself like like why am I here? Why am I gonna be competing and playing League of Legends professionally if I'm not gonna put in my all, right? Like there's no point. Like if I'm not gonna do that, then I should just not play anymore, right? It's just not fair to my teammates. It's not fair to myself. It's just not an overall good situation, right? So um, definitely putting in the hours now and making sure that I'm focusing on myself, mentally, physically, in game, everything, right? Making sure that I can compete at the highest level coming into next coming weeks.
Yeah. So then you find out last week that you're going to be in the LCS. What was that moment like? How did it go down?
Um, yeah, I mean, basically, I kind of saw the Twitter thing before I even knew.
Oh, okay, that's how you found out.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it, it
interesting.
was it was definitely interesting. I'm like,
Yeah,
is this right?
yeah,
Am I playing? Is it someone else? I didn't know anything, right?
right.
So it was definitely an interesting situation, but I'm grateful. I'm excited. Definitely won't take this opportunity for granted. Gonna put in a lot of hard work with my teammates and just keep grinding and
Yeah.
keep trying to make the best out of it for sure.
Well, I already see the comments, people saying like he found out from that tweet. Why didn't the team tell him or the managers? I assume that they just hadn't had the chance to have that
I think
conversation with you
I
yet.
think it was just they weren't expecting the backfire, I guess, or
Right,
like yeah, just like the overall situation. It was very explosive, very
right.
chaotic, and everything was going so fast. So I mean, I don't blame them. It was just like an overall kind of weird situation, but
Yeah.
I think everything's doing better now. So
Well, I will say this. You have the best camera setup of anybody that I have interviewed. This is incredible. Is it just a regular webcam?
no, no, no.
It's got like a DSLR or something?
This is like the Sony like
Yeah, yeah.
mic stand. Like it's set up by 100 Thieves like Media, right? So
Yes.
shout out to Mark.
Yeah, I mean,
He's great.
shout out to Mark because I am loving this. You are on par with my camera quality, and I have not experienced this at all since. So, um,
It's pretty crazy
yeah.
actually.
Compare it to other people who have the worst setup in their training facility. So I really appreciate this. Well, either way,
Jeez.
dude, it's so good to talk to you again. I'm really happy to see you back in the LCS, and it's
Thank you.
great to hear your story about how things went down. Is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty quiet on social media for like the past, I don't know, forever. So, um, to the fans that still support me, I really appreciate you guys sticking through, even though like I haven't been active, I haven't been tweeting anything, no Instagram posts or anything. But I definitely still have a lot of loyal supporters. So, I'm just excited to kind of come back for them too. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, the split goes well and I can keep competing in the LCS.
Well, thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. I went for a hike this morning because it is important to stay healthy. I wore a mask and all that, but I was just good to get out because it's easy to, well, let's just say I've gained some weight in quarantine. But you know what? As unfortunate as it is that I gained weight, I've also been able to enjoy this wonderful Alienware computer that I have in front of me that you can get at alienware.com/Travis with code Travis10off Q2. And I think you find that healthy balance between gaming, enjoying a machine, an Aurora computer with amazing power in it, and also walking through a field or a ridge line and seeing the Pacific Ocean. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I'm hoping you stuck around to listen to it anyway. Give me a shout out in the comments if you enjoyed this outro or if you think I need to do it differently next time.